What's up, guys? Crabmaster Zach, and I'm back at it again. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects: horror movies, scary stuff, ghouls and goblins, and people that just stab you a bunch. Those are the kind of folks we're going to be talking about today. I got a, I got a goddamn Coors Light, so it might get a little bad. Let's get started. This is my top 10 horror movie list on Letterboxd.com. A list I put together based on movies that have really stuck with me, films that have been part of my thoughts ever since I left the theater, or watched them streaming, or watched them on Blu-ray. Um, so let's get into it. The first one, this is like this is just one of my favorite movies of all time. It rips so fucking hard. Every time I watch it, I can't stop thinking, "Fuck yes, this is so sick." Super awesome effects, super awesome gore. There's, an insane scene. I don't want to spoil it. Almost every scene in that movie is insane. Um, Demons 2 is also really good. I think it's just as good as the first Demons. They're very fun movies. Uh, it's just awesome. And the song, Demon, Demon, it gets stuck in your head. The soundtrack is so sick. Motley Crue, I think there's a Motley Crue song. The soundtrack is so sick. It's got the song that's like demons, demons, and then it's got Motley Crue and a motorcycle chase in a movie theater. Demons is fucking bonkers. That's that's one of my favorites. These are not in any order. These are just movies I really like, and I want to recommend them to people. So, I hope it's something you haven't heard of, and I hope you check it out if you haven't. And if you have seen these movies, leave a comment down below and telling me what you would have put your top 10 list as. Number 2 is Night Tide by Curtis Harrington. This movie is very atmospheric and eerie. It's on the beach. It's on the shores of San Francisco, I believe. Um, while a seaman is on leave, he falls in love with a mermaid. It's got cool carnival scenes. It's got a really good vibe. If you like David Lynch type movies, I think you would like Night Tide. It's got Dennis Hopper in it, very young Dennis Hopper. It's crazy to see how he goes from a babyface young seaman to the the big bearded biker boy later on in his career. Yeah, Night Tide is great. Number 3 on my list is probably the most brutal film on this list. It's a German-made, shot on video film from Olaf Ittenbach, and this guy seems fucking insane. It's so sick. It's so twisted. There's 3 stories in there. There's one with a serial killer that is just like so brutal. And it's not afraid. It's not afraid to do what you're afraid to see. Don't want to give anything away, but these are horrific. And that's what I like. Now we got Blood Feast by Herschel Gordon Lewis. One of the most notorious films of all time. The first gore movie featuring a woman getting her tongue ripped out that was a real cow tongue used in the film. It's got a lot of brutal murders and gore, and it looks crazy because it's super early effects. They weren't using whatever Tom Savini was using in the 80s. They didn't have that technology. They were really paving the way. It's super cheap, low budget. It's super surreal and weird and funny and odd. Um, I love this movie. Blood Feast is killer. I highly recommend it. I gave it 3 stars. I'm noticing that my star reviews don't match. You know, I got a lot of 5-star horror, but these are the ones that are personally my favorite, and I really love these movies. Um, okay, next we got Spider Baby by Jack Hill. Um, I like Jack Hill's films a lot. Great exploitation. This is one of his more straight up horror films. Maybe I think it's his only horror. Or no, there's I think there was one he did before this. It's got a really weird family. There's a girl that thinks she's a spider. It's also got a late Lon Chaney Jr. in it, which is really crazy. Sid Haig is really good in this, as always. But Spider Baby is it's a killer movie. It's a good time. It's got a good eeriness to it, good surrealness to it, a dark, twisted world. Check it out. This is probably going to be my most controversial take on this list, and that is that I like The Evil Dead more than The Evil Dead 2. I just think that the circumstances around this movie and the low budgetness and how it was built and the mystery behind it and just how this movie came out, I like more than Evil Dead 2. But I mean, I like them equally. But this is just my favorite. Also, Army of Darkness is fucking phenomenal. I've probably seen that the most out of any of these. But The Evil Dead has a very special place in my heart. I love Bruce Willis. Um, he's so handsome. I saw this movie when I was 9 years old at my friend Josh's house, and it freaked me the fuck out. And I would think about it a lot. So sick. I love this movie. This is the best movie of all time. Also, it's signed by Bruce, but he signed it as Ash. I got this when I was 12 years old, and I saw Bruce in line, and I got him to sign this, and he signed it for free, which was really sick. Anyway, Evil Dead, one of the greatest movies of all time. Let's continue the list and go to Don't Look Now. Predecessor to a lot of that psychological horror we got now with the Ari Aster. Also, I like to call him Ari Ass Turd. He took a lot of inspiration from this film for one of his films. And, I mean, this film is great. It's got this mystery to it. It's got a really weird ending. Like, what more could you ask for in a movie? It's just really, it's so nutty. It's so crazy. It's so insidious at times. But witches are freaky, and this is a good witch movie. All right, don't look now. Don't look now. Here comes the Prowler. I wanted to put a slasher on this list. And you got all the classic slashers. You got your Freddys and your Jasons and your Leprechauns or whatever. And those are good. I like the Friday the 13th franchise a lot. But the Prowler, I mean, it's got Tom Savini effects. It's just got a really dark and twisted story, really great kills. And it's got this period piece element to it that really adds something that a lot of slashers don't have, and it feels pretty high budget, or it feels well made. And For the genre, this is a gem. This is a really good one. Yeah, this movie's great. The Prowler. Look out for the Prowler. Next on this list is Night of the Demon. I wanted to put a classic on the list. I could have gone with something from the 30s, like Dracula or Frankenstein or The Invisible Man. Those are all great films, but Night of the Demon has a lot of those elements, but it also has some noir elements in there that add a lot to the story and make it really fun. And the monster himself, I mean, you get a great monster in there. Night of the Demon is super cool. Night of the Demon, that's a good movie. Let's see what's next. I had to put a Giallo in there, and I think this is one of Fulci's most insane movies. Crazy dreamlike sequences and logic in the film just doesn't make sense at all. Super surreal. There's a lot of great party scenes, and the twist is a great one. I love Giallo. I love Fulci. He's the man, and I think that this movie is a great starting point if you like freaky stuff. But if you don't like freaky stuff, then watch The Zombies or The Beyond or House by the Cemetery. So, and that's my list. Let me know what you thought down below. What would be on your list? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can follow me on Letterboxd at CrapMasterZach if you wish. I haven't logged a lot of movies recently. I was a huge cinephile back in the day. I have a lot of entries on there and diaries, and I'd like to get back into watching movies, and hopefully my channel could help me do that. So if you got any recommendations based on my list of what you would like to recommend me, if you're a movie buff, let me know too. That would be super sick. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.